Hello, my name is Hemant Bantwal. I'm a doctoral student in the Information Systems and Communication Department at Robert Morris University. Today, I will be presenting a paper I have written on brain computer interfaces. This presentation will explore the ethical and social impacts of brain computer interfaces, an emerging and transformative technology. As BCIs move from labs to real world applications, it's essential to examine not just what they can do, but what they mean for society. This presentation begins with an overview of the topic and its background, including the history of brain computer interfaces, key terminology, various types of BCIs, and an outline of high level risks. We'll then examine a case study focused on Neuralink to illustrate current developments in the field. Following that, we'll explore the ethical and social implications of BCI technologies and finally conclude with key takeaways and reflections. The foundations of brain computer interfaces trace back to 1924 when Hans Berger first recorded electrical activity in the brain using what became the first electroencephalograph (EEG). Nearly 5 decades later, in the 1970s, Jacques Vidal formally introduced the term brain computer interface to describe systems capable of translating brain signals into commands for machines. Let's begin with some foundational concepts. Brain computer interfaces and broader neurotechnologies are among the most transformative innovations of the 21st century. At their core, BCIs allow direct communication between the human brain and external devices, bypassing the traditional neuromuscular pathways. Originally developed to support individuals with physical disabilities, these systems aim to restore motor function, enhance communication, and promote greater independence over time. BCIs have also contributed significantly to rehabilitation therapies, such as aiding stroke patients in motor recovery and enabling communication for individuals with locked in syndrome. BCIs can generally be categorized based on their placement and the directionality of information flow. In terms of placement, BCIs are classified as either non invasive or invasive. Non invasive systems such as electroencephalograph (EEG) and functional magnetic resonance imaging (fMRI) are positioned externally on the scalp and do not require surgery. In contrast, invasive BCIs involve surgical procedures to implant electrodes either on the surface of the cortex or within cortical tissue. Examples include electrocorticography (ECOG) and intracortical recordings. Another classification method is based on the direction of information transfer. Some BCIs are designed to extract signals from the brain. Technologies like EEG and fMRI fall into this category. Others are intended to transmit information into the nervous system, such as deep brain stimulation (DBS), neuropharmacological interventions, and neural transplantation. BCIs were developed with promising intentions. They also pose significant risks and unintended consequences. Invasive BCIs, which require neurosurgical implantation of electrodes, carry medical risks such as infection, tissue damage, and long term electrode degradation. Non invasive alternatives are safer but often face limitations in accuracy and signal reliability, which can hinder their practical use. Beyond physical health concerns, BCIs raise critical ethical and societal issues, particularly around privacy, autonomy, and the nature of human identity. These technologies have the potential to expose sensitive neural data which could be misused for surveillance, psychological manipulation, or commercial gain. Additionally, BCIs that artificially evoke emotional responses challenge our understanding of what constitutes a genuine or authentic experience. In essence, BCIs represent a disruptive frontier in technology, though initially designed to restore independence and functionality. They also introduce complex vulnerabilities and ethical dilemmas that extend far beyond their original purpose. A compelling real world example that illustrates both the potential and the challenges of BCIs is Neuralink, a neurotechnology company founded by Elon Musk, Neuralink has developed an implantable device called as the Link, featuring thousands of microelectrodes capable of recording and stimulating brain activity. The company envisions transformative applications from restoring motor functions in individuals with paralysis to enabling direct brain to computer communication and even enhancing cognitive abilities. One promising use case involves managing mood disorders through direct brain stimulation, potentially offering a non pharmaceutical alternative with fewer systematic side effects. While these advances offer meaningful medical and ethical benefits, such as enhancing autonomy in mental health treatment, they also raise serious concerns. Foremost among these is the issue of privacy and consent. Since the device interprets neural signals, there is a risk of exposing intimate thoughts and emotional states, thereby threatening cognitive liberty. Unauthorized access to neural data by corporations, governments, or malicious actors could open the doors to surveillance, manipulation, and behavioral control. Another concern is psychological dependency. The gratification of functionality derived from brain stimulation could lead to overuse of or emotional reliance. Prolonged engagement with BCI enabled virtual environments may result in detachment from reality, diminishing social interaction and emotional well being. The device's invasive nature adds further complexity. While animal trials have shown initial success, human implantation carries risk of infection, tissue damage, and device failure. The long-term safety and efficacy remain uncertain. Ethical scrutiny has also been directed at Neuralink's use of animals in research, prompting public concern over animal welfare. From a societal standpoint, Neuralink may deepen inequality. As with many emerging technologies, access may be limited to wealthier population, potentially creating a new divide between neuro-enhanced individuals and those without such access. This could exacerbate disparities in education, employment, and healthcare. Perhaps most troubling is the potential for external control without robust legal safeguards. BCIs like Neuralinks could be repurposed for military or commercial use, leading to psychological warfare or behavioral manipulation. The ability to influence behavior via neural input without consent raises the specter of a failure in which free will is undermined. To mitigate this risk, experts call for strong regulatory frameworks. Zhang, in his paper, advocates for encrypted neural data, clear consent mechanisms, and public oversight to ensure transparency and accountability. Education and awareness initiatives are also vital to empower users and encourage responsible engagement with BCI technologies. In conclusion, Neuralink represents both the remarkable promise and the complex ethical dilemmas of BCI innovation. While the technology offers profound benefits in medicine and human enhancements, it also demands vigilant ethical oversight. As emphasized by various researchers in their papers, ensuring equitable access, preserving individual rights, and establishing responsible governance are essential to aligning technological progress with the values of a just and humane society. While BCIs hold transformative potential, they also raise critical ethical and societal concerns. These includes questions around autonomy, identity, privacy, dependency, inequality, and accountability. Autonomy is a central issue. The bidirectional interaction between brain and machine can blur the distinction between user intention and machine driven suggestions, complicating the user's sense of agency. When algorithms adapt to neural patterns, it becomes harder to determine where human control ends and automated influence begins, raising concerns not just about autonomy but personal identity. Privacy risks are equally pressing. BCIs can decode neural patterns linked to emotions, preferences, or mental states. As this data becomes accessible, third parties, corporations, or governments could exploit it for surveillance or manipulation, threatening cognitive privacy and freedom of thought. Invasive BCI used for mood modulation may support mental health treatment but also risk generating engineered happiness detached from authentic experiences. This could foster emotional dependency, similar to addiction. Some researchers warn that excessive reliance on automated emotional regulation may alienate users from their own feelings and actions. Social equity is another major concern. If BCI based cognitive enhancements are accessible only to the wealthy, society could face a new form of inequality, one rooted in neurotechnology. This divide could reinforce disparities in education, employment, and healthcare. Legal and ethical responsibilities remain ambiguous. For example, if a neuroprosthetic causes harm, it is unclear whether liability rests with the user, the device, or its manufacturer. Current legal systems lack frameworks for addressing hybrid actions involving both human intent and machine execution. BCIs are also raise deeper philosophical questions. When emotions and experiences are induced artificially, their authenticity comes into question. Zhang, in his research, argues that true cognition arises from organic interaction with one's environment, raising concerns about emotional detachment or confusion between virtual and real experiences. To address these challenges, ethical governance is essential. While regulatory bodies like the FDA have begun outlining safety standards, broader frameworks are needed. Researchers call for comprehensive safeguards, ensuring informed consent, neural data protection, equitable access, and public oversight. In conclusion, BCIs have the power to reshape medicine, communication, and human experience. Yet, various researchers in the literature caution that they must be developed within robust ethical and legal boundaries. Only through responsible innovation can BCIs truly serve the public good without compromising fundamental human values. Brain computer interfaces and neurotechnologies are prime examples of disruptive innovation. Technologies developed with transformative, often therapeutic intentions, yet capable of producing complex and unforeseen consequences. While their origins lie in medical rehabilitation, BCIs have evolved into a frontier technology with wide ranging applications in healthcare, education, entertainment, and national security. Their disruptive potential is most evident in the ethical and social challenges they present, including concerns about privacy, autonomy, inequality, and geopolitical implications. Neuralink exemplifies this duality, a technology with promising therapeutic applications that also raises difficult questions about safety, transparency, and potential for misuse. As BCIs advance, the central challenge will be finding a sustainable balance between innovation and ethical responsibility. This will require robust frameworks rooted in neuroethics, global regulations, and human in the loop design principles to ensure that these technologies enhance human well being rather than compromise it. In the end, BCIs encapsulate both the promise and the peril of technology disruption. Their future impact will depend not only on how far the technology progresses but on how thoughtfully we choose to govern, regulate, and integrate these powerful systems into society. The following peer reviewed literature informed and supported the content of this presentation.